Welcome to the Christmas Kids Radio Show. Today, in conjunction with WLX Television, the St. Lucie County School District television station, and with the St. Lucie County School Board members and Superintendent. Thank you for being with us on the Christmas Kids Radio Show.
Thank you.
And also the WLX-TV show. It's been a big year. We've been hearing a lot about St. Lucie County schools this last year. First of all, we heard a lot about the graduation rate.
Well, we're number 5 in the state, topped on the Treasure Coast right now, and that was based upon the previous year's graduation rate. Well, we're waiting right now. In the next couple of weeks, we'll get the newest rate. But right now, we're 5th in the state. We went from in the 40s to 13th to number 5. So we're doing very, very well in that area.
Now, that is quite an advancement. I mean, there had to have been a lot of very concerted effort go into that.
Yeah, what you do, it's really about monitoring, and it's not waiting until the students are seniors. You want to make sure you start paying close attention when they come in as freshmen. There's certain points, certain things that they'll need to graduate. You need to make sure that they're being monitored. You need to make sure there's a caring adult on the campus. There's graduation coaches, there's teachers, there's administrators. Everybody is focused on that to make sure that nobody slips, nobody falls through the cracks, and that everybody graduates.
Graduation coach, what does a graduation coach do?
Just what it says. They make sure they're coaching the graduates, to make sure that they've got all their credits, to make sure they're in the right classes, to make sure if there's any issues that are happening, that they can do some counseling with the students as well. Just really focusing on the kids and making sure that they're getting the necessary credits, the necessary classes, making sure they're attending school. If there's any setbacks, making sure that we get them in the right pathway, whatever that needs to be, because it's different for all kids, to make sure that they make it across the finish line, which is really walking across that stage and shaking every one of the school board members' hands and getting that diploma.
Certainly.
Carol, I'd like to add to that in regards to the students. It's not easy to get them to the place where they can pass the state exams. And so we're not just giving out diplomas. The children are truly being prepared and trained and educated to pass those state exams, which are very challenging.
That's right, and that's statewide, so I mean, you certainly know that they've met all the criteria. Certainly. Plus, there's the element, I'm sure, that someone cares enough to coach me.
Yes, it makes a big
Yeah.
difference.
Well, as you know, we're a community at hope. We take that very, very seriously, and our motto is each child every day, and that's part of our DNA as a district. So it's focused on individual student success and making sure that each child gets what they need to be as successful as they possibly can be.
Well, along with the graduation rate has come kind of the overall academic achievement.
Correct. We're with that overall academics and how we're rated by the state. We're in the top third. We've gone made some 20 point. Really, there's 67 counties. We're 22nd. We made a 20. I don't know what you want to call it, 20 points, but 20 positions over the last year. We gained 20 positions, so we're now right there at 22nd in the top third in the entire state. And again, it's very difficult, as was just mentioned, and it's tough work for our students, but it's really a tribute to our teachers and to what they're doing. The children come to school now with a lot of different challenges, from pre-K all the way up to their senior years, and our teachers are not only teachers now, but in many cases they're counselors themselves. They see the value, the worth of every child, and we take that, as was mentioned, that's our core mission, is teaching and learning, but to make sure that we're reaching the total child. The academics are one thing, but if you can't reach them, if you don't have a caring person in front of them where you develop positive relationships with them to show them that every child is capable of success, that they can be successful. We do believe in you, that it can be done, and we're proving that each and every day. But that's really a credit to everyone in the district. But our teachers are the front line. They're in the classrooms with the students every day, and just a big debt of gratitude goes out to them.
And as big a step as this has become, up 20 points, I mean, I'm sure you're looking at where you can go from here.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
There's more.
Well, as you know, with our demographics, it makes it more challenging. But focus, putting your money where your mouth is, focusing on your core mission, not get diverted, has proven very successful for our kids. And we've been told that our statistics cannot be accurate because we have so many kids on free or reduced lunch, and we can show them that just because you're from poverty doesn't mean your life needs to be impoverished.
Well, I would think it would be even stronger impression that if you do have challenges among the student body, that they've done well.
Yes, very.
Yeah. Kudos also to our administrative team, starting with Mr. Gent. You know, he's come in and has done a fantastic job with all of our staff. And so we thank you for your efforts and all the work that you've done since you've been in St. Lucie County. And our administrator, you know, it starts from the head, and then it works its way down, so.
Always good to have a compliment from the school board, and certainly thank you. On that note, let's go to the Lincoln Park Chorale under the direction of George Romming and enjoy some of the musical talent here in St. Lucie County. And welcome back to the Christmas Kids Radio Show in conjunction with WLX-TV, St. Lucie County Schools. And we're here with the school board members and superintendent. We were talking a lot about the advancements in the academic scores and graduation rate. What happens after high school for most of your students? So some will go to college. What then?
It's true, some will go to college, but there's more and more emphasis on the students that won't go to college. A lot of our students enlist in the military, and we are so grateful, for their service to our country. More and more are going in that direction. And also career ready. They are actually graduating from our high schools with a certification in a particular field that they can go right into the work world and earn a very good living and begin to become really good economic contributors to our community. So more and more of the shift happening along those lines. We offer 40 plus different career and tech offerings for our students at the various high schools, and the response has just been really, really good. But there's also the balance too, Carol, of the academic part of it that they have along with the career and tech, so that it's a nice balance, and it gives them the opportunity to decide, really, is this for me or is college for me?
At what point do they have to kind of make this decision in high school, if I want to try this or in that direction?
We begin to encourage them early on because we're stressing the importance of, when you graduate, a new life begins for you, and to begin to put a little planning into that for them. So we begin to encourage it as they're freshmen, exposing them to different things. They know the career and tech academies that are at their particular schools.
And what kind of tech academies would they have? What kind of opportunities?
Oh, we have aviation, we have drones, which has become really fascinating, yes. Mechanics.
Culinary arts.
Culinary.
Tech. robotics, manufacturing.
Construction trades.
Construction trades.
Yeah. We've begun to work very closely with the Treasure Coast Builders Association, and they are letting us know areas of field trade that are lacking in the construction business especially. So we're working with them very closely, and they're in fact helping with parts of the curriculum for those trades so that the students graduate with the certification that they're ready for the work that's available for them right here in St. Lucie County, because it's always our goal to have our kids stay home, you know, even if they go to college. We'd love for them to come back and teach or just rejoin St. Lucie County, because it is a great place to be.
They are taught in depth as well, like you mentioned, the certifications. They are in many of our programs. The kids can be certified to start work when they graduate. They have their paper right there to prove it. And just recently, we had the privilege of going to Centennial for a luncheon. The mayors and myself, and as the chairman last year, and that was last month. And our culinary department there was absolutely incredible. First class, they all get certified to be managers, not just cooks, but managers to restaurants. And I'm telling you, if all of those kids, a group of those kids got together right here in St. Lucie County, we would have this fabulous restaurant that we could attend. I mean, they in depth, and not just that they served us, but they actually educated us while we were having the luncheon. The children themselves presented the presentations to us and gave us a lot of information and knowledge.
Carol, I think what's key with our school board here is that we've been intact for a while. And I say that because when we started bringing in biotech and tech industries into St. Lucie County, we realized we had to do a shift in education, and some of our technical careers involved professors from Torrey Pines, VGTI, coming and working with our high school students. So we saw that need and we met that need, and now vocational tech is just not a need in St. Lucie County, it's across the United States, and you're seeing, you know, the governments get involved. So that's one of the needs that we're going to need to meet, particularly with the port coming in town. And we'll be meeting with other governmental leaders and seeing how some of our students can get involved. We had a boot camp with workforce development, and we had some of our students participate in that, and they did phenomenal. So we're going to see more and more of those type of activities and curriculum come about as the need arises. And we're a proactive board and a reactive board too, but more proactive.
Well, you mentioned aviation too. I mean, there aircraft maintenance is done at the airport.
Yeah,
And certainly a lot of opportunities.
Particularly if our airport starts growing more.
Yes, yes.
We'll have students for that need.
We'll be back and talk a little bit more. We've talked about tech. Let's talk about the arts in just a moment. But first of all, let's share the Lincoln Park Academy LPA chorale.
On December 5 and 20, foo, foo, foo. On December 5 and 20, foo, foo, foo. For a blessed babe was born upon this day at break of morn. In a manger poor and lowly lay the Son of God most holy, foo, foo, foo. For a blessed babe was born upon this day at break of morn. In a manger poor and lowly lay the Son of God most holy, foo, foo, foo.
And welcome back to the Christmas Kids radio show with the St. Lucie County School District at WLX Studios. And certainly, Mr. Gent, there's a lot going on with the career development and career opportunities.
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to know that we want our students to graduate, and we don't force them on one path or another path. Whether they're going to go to college, That's great. We have the programs to prepare them for that. If they're going to go into the world of work or go into the military, we got programs in place as well. So we've got everything in place. What we really want is our kids to be successful when they graduate from high school, in whatever field that they go to. In the career technical education field, we're very proud of the academies that's just been mentioned. We work very closely with the EDC. They've done a skills gap analysis. We've worked close with that to adjust our programs. Some of the things that are coming into port was just mentioned, aviation, agriculture, agri-technology, all of those kinds of things. We're able to adapt. We encourage folks to come into our school centers to see what we're offering so that we can meet that economic need here locally. And I think we've done a really good job stepping up to the plate and working with our different municipalities to do that. And I just think it's important for folks to know, because sometimes people say, oh, you're just preparing for college. And that's not the case. The other thing that's interesting is over 83% of our seniors that graduated this past year were in accelerated classes, whether that was in a regular academic class like international baccalaureate courses, or it could be advanced placement classes. It could be we call them CTE, career technical education courses. But all these courses are high-level coursework for the students, and over 83% of our students take accelerated classes, which is remarkable, again, and it sets us apart from some of the other districts. So we're very, very proud of that.
Remarkable, especially if there are people saying, well, wait a minute, you have quite a diverse community. How do you do this?
Right. It's a very diverse community. We have multiple countries represented. I think we had 52 either languages or dialects represented. So we have a very, very high barrier to overcome, but we have shown that it can be overcome with the right focus and the right people in place. And we're a mission-driven district, and our educators are mission-driven people. So they don't look at it as a job. It is actually a career, and it is a career that can change the world for a single child, and in many cases, it can change the whole community.
And we have high expectations too. You know, we're not watering down our children's academic level just because they may want to choose a career in the technical area or, you know, without going to college. They too have to, as I said before, pass those state exams.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so all of them are being prepared properly. We're not watering down for one group and then elevating it for the other. And high expectations. Our children will meet that once they have, as it's been said, other things in place.
Sure. Okay. Well, now we've talked about the technical. How about the arts? And cast particularly comes to mind.
Well, I'll start that out. We did a grant, and this is a credit to our district level staff and some of our instructional folks in the schools, where we received almost $12.5 million for a grant. A lot of those dollars have gone to the St. Lucie School of the Arts. It's now called CAST, Creative Arts Academy of St. Lucie, and it's really a K through 6, an arts school with an arts theme for students that may want to be in the drama, the theatrics, the music field, whatever that is, that have that niche. So we just opened that school, or kind of reconstituted the school, and that's just opened up this past fall. And it's doing very, very well. Also had dollars come in for Samuel Gaines Academy and for Westwood High School. Sam Gaines Academy, the kindergarten and the 6th grade classes this year, we've moved towards more of a STEM-related and STEAM, which the A stands for the arts, in that school. And then Westwood will be kicking off a program out at Westwood for next year that we're in the process of doing. But that was all because of the grant that we received. We got more money than Dade County did in this grant, so that's a credit to the folks behind the scenes that write these you have to write these grants and then win them. And so the arts program that we have going on right now hopefully will complement the other programs that we have in the county, and students can find a niche in that as well. One of the things that this board has done over the years is to make sure that you're trying to reach, again, that total child, whether it's the academic piece, whether it's the career tech, or the performing arts, or the digital arts, or the drawing, or whatever that may be, whatever their niche may be, we're trying to find that and develop programs to help stimulate them.
And what do you see happening with the students as they go through a curriculum like this?
I think it's absolutely exciting because years ago, there was a mandate, or we took it as a suggestion, that you do away with the arts in the schools because they were fluff. So there were quite a few of us who believed that arts were actually very much a part of creating those synapses. And so when you watch kids being able to create their own dramas, perform their own dramas, what that does to their, first of all, their self-esteem, but their critical thinking is absolutely fantastic.
With this creative arts school too, it was pretty incredible is that we shut the whole entire school down and we brought new students in and put those other students that were going to a Fort Pierce School of the Arts to another school and brought in new teachers and redid the whole entire school. We redid the infrastructure of the stage area and put lighting and modern technology in so these kids have state-of-the-art stuff to work with. And we gave them more instruments and different levels. It's pretty impressive what the school district did.
Okay, we will, let's hear more from the arts from Lincoln Park Academy Chorale, and we'll be back to talk with the school board and superintendent in just a moment.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing on bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in a jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. To go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing on bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in a jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock.
And welcome back to the WPSL Christmas Kids radio show, along with WLX Studios here at the television station for the St. Lucie County School District. And we're here with the school board and Superintendent Gent. We talked a little bit about the arts, but that seems to be part of the whole child,
Yes,
the whole...
it is. I believe, and as the daughter of a retired music teacher, we fought for years when we were doing FCAT to show that music is actually a math skill, and that is something we can now prove. The way children learn music, there is a mathematical equation, so to speak, in learning music to count the music and so forth. But I do believe that some children that may not be as excited about coming to school, sports and the arts in general will kind of encourage those children to come. They have their own group. They feel included, possibly, where they may not have been included before. But we know now that this skill, at earlier age, the better, that we involve children in music and creative movement and drama, and all parts of the brain need to be used, and give children that opportunity to see what they like. We don't expect all our children to grow up and possibly play in an orchestra. That's not the idea, but it gives them a wider venue as they grow up, and any possibility for them to do things outside of what would be, possibly expected of them. So I'm a big believer in the arts. All three of my daughters played instruments in the school system, and I think it enriched their lives.
The topic at the beginning, as we began this school year, was school safety and the security of children. It is still a topic, but something I know that the school district has worked hard on.
Well, this school board has invested dollars, almost $6 million over the last several years for school security. So it's always been a high priority for the school district. And then this year, with the heavy emphasis on that, with the tragedy that occurred down in Parkland, We've worked with our municipalities, we've worked with the Sheriff's Department, PSL, and Fort Pierce PD to make sure that our schools are safe. We have an officer in every school. Last year when the tragedy occurred, Sheriff Mascara made sure that there was an officer in every one of the school centers. That particularly was not the case at that time in the elementary schools. We had roving officers in those schools. And so we have very safe schools. We've done security assessments for every one of our schools to make sure that our schools are safe places. We've tried to change some protocols in the front offices as well, single points of entry. So we have really met all of the mandates that have come down from the state, and have worked closely again with our local law enforcement folks to make sure, and we have our own security force as well, to make sure that our schools are safe. And that's our highest priority, is to make sure that when they get off that bus or they're dropped off in the morning, that they're safe the entire day. And we feel that we've done a very good job in doing that, and we'll continue to place a heavy emphasis on that. And hopefully the state legislature will work with us in the years to come, as well as for the additional funding to make sure, because it's very, very expensive. And this year we had to drain from resources from other areas to make sure that that was done. But we've done a good job with that.
Okay, well, certainly, and thank you for paying the attention to that, because I know that's certainly on the minds of parents and so forth. But certainly, what do you see for the next coming year? You're expecting to continue to have the numbers go up in terms of graduation rates, and
Well, I don't think we mentioned, or maybe we have, but mentioned that we're 1 point away from an A district.
okay.
And so we're a very high D district in the state of Florida. And so we do, expectations is to raise up that 1 point plus, so that we can go into an A district as an A district.
Okay, so that's
my
that
expectations
close.
in the board expectation as well.
Carol, I think we should talk a little bit about the village mentality that St. Lucie County has, and all our many, many partners in our community that work with our children, like the Boys and Girls Club and Big Brothers Big Sisters, and many of our churches for free offer tutoring to students. And without that buy-in from so many of our banks actually will give volunteer hours to tutor children. So there's just, St. Lucie is full of caring, loving people that donate their time and their money to our students. We couldn't do it without our community leaders.
I think it's so important to bring that out, that the community at large, we're all educating our kids. And we have had an after-school program since 1986, that after school, the kids come to us. And there's others all about through the district. In fact, our after-school program is a couple blocks down on Avenue D. And for years, we have been helping the school system educate the students in our community. So it's important to bring out that there are all kind of organizations helping the parents as well.
And it's a good note to end on. Certainly, thank you. And I know we have to wish happy holidays, certainly, from the jacket here, yes.
I already had a great day.
And
Yes, it's been a good day already.
Happy holidays to
Festive.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
From WLX and from the WPSL Christmas Kids.